What's up, good people? It's your Final Fantasy homie Jay. I heard that y'all enjoy my teaching videos, and today I'm bringing back a class that is my second favorite. It grew on me again. It was one of my favorite in Shadowbringers, and that is the lovely Black Mage, the beautiful boomy. So today, if you have watched any of my videos, you know I'm going to break the rotation down in sections. And I'm giving some tips, and then I'm going to show the entire rotation at the end with the icons displayed as we go, so it's easy to follow along and understand. One of the main things I want to get across real quick is that playing Black Mage, you have to have patience with yourself, because as you learn a fight, or if you know a fight, the better you understand the fight, the better you're going to be with Black Mage, because Black Mage has the longest cast timers in the game. There's no class that has a longer cast timer than Black Mage. So if you feel like, man, I'm just not getting this, like I keep canceling my casting timers, just know that as you start to learn the fight, understand where mechanics are going to happen, understand where they're going to happen, you'll get much better with Black Mage. So I just want to put that out there. If you're stressed and frustrated about Black Mage, it'll get better. Stick it out, because Black Mage is an amazing class to play. So to start off with the beginning of our opener, you're going to want to pre-use a sharp cast. If you can keep your stacks on one, and sharp cast and triple cast, that's going to help you with your damage. It's going to help you play a lot better. It's going to help you be a really great Black Mage, because if you're sitting on max stats and aren't using them, you're wasting time, right? Because you want to get them on cooldown so you can use more of them throughout the fight. So our opener, whether you're using the countdown timer or not, if you're using the countdown timer, so say you're using the 15-second timer, and we're waiting on the fight to start, around 12 seconds, we are going to pop sharp cast. That way we can pre-proc our Thunder 3, so that way we can use it as an instant cast next time we use it. Around 3 seconds, we're going to start casting our Fire 3. The reason that we pre-cast our Fire 3 is because our Fire 3 takes 3.27 seconds to cast. So at 3 seconds left in the countdown timer, you want to start pre-casting your Fire. But Jay, don't we supposed to start in ice? No, you're not, because this is how you have to imagine it. You want to sit in ice as little as possible, because your most damage is going to come from your Fire 4. Your ice doesn't produce as much damage as your Fire phase. And at the very beginning of the fight, we have max mana, and the purpose of your ice phase is to regenerate your mana so you can do more damage in your Fire phase. So at the beginning of your fight, you have max mana. So with max mana, you want to take advantage of that damage early and then go into your ice phase to get your mana back to go back into your Fire phase. So at level 90, you should be starting your fights straight into the Fire phase. So to reiterate, this is how far we're going in the opener. You're gonna pre-cast your sharp cast into a Fire 3, and we're gonna go into a Thunder 3. So how that will look is, you got your 15-second counter or your 20-second counter. Doesn't matter. Countdown doesn't matter. If you don't have a countdown, don't worry about it. You're still gonna do the same opener. You're gonna go ahead and pre-proc your sharp cast so it's ready to go. Around 3 seconds, we are going to start casting our Fire. So we're casting our Fire here. Right when it hits 0, we should throw that out into our Thunder, because we want to put that dot on as soon as possible. So if you look at it, our Thunder is now proc, so then next time we throw a Thunder, it's an instant cast, right? And we can move, and we can do what we need. And we did that because of the sharp cast. Just in case you don't know how sharp cast works, it will allow your Thunder to get an instant proc. So we'll go ahead, and that is our opener. That's where we're starting off. From there, we're going to weave a triple cast. This will be the only part of your rotation that you're probably going to clip. I think you can only clip it. And when I say clip, that means that you're going to throw a triple cast, and then you're going to have to wait a second to start throwing your fires. It's completely fine. It's pretty standard to do that. There's no way that you can't clip it. So what we're going to do is we're going to use triple cast, and then we're going to throw out 2 Fire 4s. Within those 2 Fire 4s, we're going to use a ley line. And we're going to use Amplifier. So that way we can go ahead and put Amplifier on cooldown, and we have a Xenoglossy to have in our opening rotation, because we want to make sure that we're using everything. When you see me go through this entire rotation, you're going to see that the goal is to use every single instant cast ability in our opener, because the less we have to cast, the faster we can push out damage, And the faster we can get through our opener, so we be able to do our move, we're able to move, or we're able to just pump faster. If you're spending less time casting, you're spending more time pumping out damage, if that makes sense. So in our opener, so far, we have a sharp cast into a fire 3, into a thunder. We're going to triple cast into a fire 4. You're going to throw another fire 4. You're going to use your ley lines into an amplifier, into another fire 4. That's how far we got so far. Now our ley lines is good to go. We have our ley lines down. We weaved everything in so we didn't drop anything. We used our amplifier. So now we have a Xenoglossy that we can use in our rotation. While I let my timer restart, I'm gonna talk about that. So after we go from our sharp cast to our fire 3 to our thunder 3, we did a triple cast so we can go ahead and start instantly casting abilities. Also, so we can start weaving. So we're gonna throw a fire 4 into a second fire 4. We're gonna weave in a ley lines and an amplifier. The next thing we do is gonna go to our last fire 4. The last fire 4 will be the last cast of your triple cast. That will be your third cast because you threw out 3 fire 4s. At that point, we're gonna need to weave a swift cast. So that way we can get one more fire 4 out within the time limit of our fire phase without us dropping our fire element. After we do a swift cast, we're gonna pump out our last fire 4. We're gonna weave that into a triple cast and use the spare. That's gonna be the start of our full opener because the spare would take us, we should have around, I think, 1200 mana left, which leaves us enough to throw out a despair, which will reset our element. We wanna use Monofont so we can refill our mana so we can get out one more fire and one more despair. Sounds like a lot. I'm going to let my ley lines reset, and then I'm going to show you the entire opener of the fire phase, and then we'll finish off with the ice phase, and then show you exactly how the full rotation works. All right, everything's on cooldown. If you're in a raid, most likely your party's going to do a 15 to 20 second countdown. If you're not in a raid, you still can do this opener. It doesn't matter. But just to know, we're going to play it off as if we're about to do like a trial or a raid fight. So we're going to start our timer around 12 seconds. We're going to pop our first sharp cast. So that way we can prep our thunder. Right when we get between 4 and 3 seconds, we're going to pop fire. I'm going to try to name these as I go, but I may start stressing and not. So fire comes out. We're going to go straight into thunder. Triple cast into a fire. Into a second fire. You're going to ley lines and amplify into another fire. We're going to swift cast into our last fire. We're going to triple cast into a despair, modify into a fire, and then we're gonna finish off with a despair. Woo, I actually said all that. I feel like I was a little delayed though, but that's okay. But if you see what's important is, do you see how everything is on cooldown? Everything that's important is on cooldown. Modified's on cooldown, swift cast, both triple casts on cooldown. We have our Xenoglossy ready to go. Our Thunder 3 is procced and ready to go. And we depleted all of our mana perfectly, where we was able to not drop our fire rotation, our fire element, because if you drop your fire element, you can't do a despair, you can't do a fire 4. We was able to get that all through without anything dropping, and we only did 2 casts, if you paid attention to that. We only cast at the very beginning for fire 3, and we only did the cast on thunder. Everything else was instant cast, getting everything out quickly, so we didn't drop anything and we used everything perfectly. That is your opener for the fire phase. Then after that, you will rotate into your ice phase because we've depleted all our mana, right? And without mana, Black Mage can't do anything. So as soon as you use your last despair, we're going to rotate into a Blizzard 3, which then you will unlock Paradox, which is your level 90 ability. So you're going to go into a Blizzard 3. You're going to use a Xenoglossy because we need to give time for our mana to fill back up. We're going to use Paradox into a Blizzard 4, and we're going to use that instant cast of Thunder 3 so we can make sure that we don't have to cast it, and then we can go right back into our fire rotation. But that is the whole rotation. So let's bring it all together where we start with our fire phase, we end with our ice phase, and then from there you just kind of rinse and repeat. Dodge is needed. There's one more thing you want to throw in that I forgot, and that's the second sharp cast. So you make sure that you have another thunder proc ready to go. So let's do the whole rotation. And let's see if I can get this on the first try. And hopefully it works. I'm going to reset everything and then we're going to give it a shot. All right, here we go. So what's important is that we want to make sure that we get everything out so we don't drop. And I kind of want y'all to pay attention to how I don't let my fire drop at all. And I deplete my mana very efficiently, because that's what's important for a black mage, is make sure that you use everything. I keep wanting to do very chat. Make sure that you use everything efficiently. So we're going to start from my timers. I'll try to do my call outs again, but we're going to go through the entire rotation. I may start lagging because my brain, I'm trying to push buttons, but my brain's trying to speak. Worst case, you have the icons on top, and you can see the buttons that are being pushed. So we're gonna do our 15-second timer. We're gonna prepare our sharp cast. So we're prepping our sharp cast here. If you're having trouble double weaving these amplify and ley lines, you can always use it in the first fire as well. So about 3 seconds, we're gonna start casting fire. We're gonna go straight into our thunder. Triple cast to fire. Fire, ley lines into amplifier, fire, we're gonna swift cast, fire, triple cast, to a despair, mana font, into a fire, into a despair. We're gonna go blizzard. We're gonna go Xeno because we need to wait for the fire ice to fill up. We're gonna go to a blizzard 4, into our last thunder, and that is our full rotation. As you see, we have a proc, so we can go right back into our fire. Start throwing our fire 4s again. I like to save Paradox until my fire needs to be replenished, like so. And that way you never have to actually touch fire. You never actually have to do fire 1. You can just keep this here. And you never have to use fire 1. You can instantly go back into your despair. And that's a good tip to know. That's a really good tip to know, is that I'll save Paradox until your fire is about to drop and use Paradox to do your refill, instead of using Paradox early and having to use fire, because fire doesn't do a lot of damage, and you don't really want to use fire until you have to. So that's a big thing of making sure that you use it, as needed. Another big tip, as needed. So that's the entire rotation. A couple of tips for black mages to know. If you can, try to keep your Xenoglossy from being overcapped. So if you feel like you feel like you're at 2 bars and it's about to get full, just use a Xenoglossy so you don't get capped. Also know to use Xenoglossy to reposition, since it's an instant cast. Keep your dot up. If your dot's about to drop, just go ahead and throw that thunder out. That's super important. I do have a macro for manipulation, so you can dash to your teammates without having to actually click on them. I'll drop that macro in the comment section. I can't drop it in the description, so I'll drop it in the comment section if you want to use that. It's a mouse over. Saves me a ton of headaches because I can just hover the partner I need and I can dash straight to them. Other than that, black mage is super fun. Transpose. Use it if you're about to. So use transpose if you're in a situation and you're not gonna get it off in time to get your fire out. Just transpose. Just transpose. Don't feel like, oh, I got 2 seconds left, I can get this fire out in time, and then you drop it, because the most important thing is to never let your Nochin in, because the longer your Nochin goes, the more damage you're gonna do, unless that's changed. I don't think it's changed, right? Yeah. So the longer that your Nochin goes, the more damage it does. It stays up for 30 seconds, you're going to do more damage. That's why Black Mage is considered a turret, because it will blow more damage out the longer that you stay consistent with the class. I hope this video was helpful. I'm looking to drop, I'm looking at more classes, to drop more classes. I will be dropping a Black Mage PvP guide, because I think Black Mage is really fun, but it's going to take a certain kind of play style to be able to climb with it. But other than that, I hope this video helps. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments, hit me up on Discord, or come through my stream and talk to me there. And I will catch y'all in the next video. I'm glad I was able to do that and not look silly.